Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Terry TV. How are you today? Yes, I know I usually have my intro and stuff, but I'm still working out all of this technology. I'm 67. What are you going to do? My name is Terry Harden. I'm Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer and pop icon. Welcome if it's your first time just taking a peek and trying to figure out what this channel is about. So am I. It's basically about me talking about things Disney sometimes, and then I talk about things that are Lego, things that are going on in my world. I was in the movie Ghostbusters, in the movie Dune, 1984, did dinosaurs, did Captain EO, played Idie and Odie. I mean, a plethora of things. So you come here to maybe hear me chatter at you, or every so often I'm more organized. This is the Christmas holidays, so poof, organizing has gone out the window. But I did want to say that there are a few things that have just been joyful. And the first thing I want to do is to thank those of you who do tune in and just support me by leaving a comment or saying, just want to see what she has to say. During this time of year, it is a good time to give thanks. And one of my challenges is trying to figure out gifts for certain family members. And then I think maybe they're having the same challenge with me, maybe. But the point of it is this: I think I've come to the point where I'd really like to gather with friends and family and socialize. I'd like to have a good meal or a nice dessert, and we get together and we just kind of share what's been going on in our lives. I think that's what I really would like for Christmas. I recently lost my parents, and so this is the first Christmas without them. And so it's already weird. And because it's already weird, all of a sudden I want a Christmas tree in the house. I want the smell of cinnamon and nutmeg. I want some eggnog. Some of these things that I haven't really partaken of in the past. I've been a bit too wrapped up in situations with my family. Both my parents were my dad was very sick, and I took care of him for off and on for 3 years, along with my cousin Tim helping me out with that. And and I miss him. He's my mentor, and I miss him every day. And then I just recently lost my mother, and my mom was in a convalescent hospital, but visited her as often. I mean, a lot. I visited her like once or twice a week, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with my crazy schedule, and then part of the month was October. I actually put a phone in that had a red button like the Batman hotline, and she got to the point where she couldn't push that button, but I asked her to just get someone, and she would get someone and push the button and call me and then say, "You need to come over now." And I'd go, "I'm not in town, but as soon as I get back, but talk to me now." And it worked. Didn't work perfectly, but it worked. And so we had a good, we had I'm thankful for all of that time I had with my mom before she crossed over. And now she's in heaven rocking some wings with my dad. And I'm very excited about all of that. But the nice thing is, this holiday is a holiday of Yuletide and cheer and goodies. And I have to say that I'm very thankful to you all for just the smiles and the kindnesses and the gathering. I gathered at Disneyland last on the 5th. I think it was the 5th. I was to see some friends who gathered for candlelight. Because those of you who live on the West Coast or know about Disneyland, which many of you do, this was candlelight for Disneyland this last weekend. And although I didn't attend, many of you are in town for it. So I try to make sure that I get out to downtown Disney so that at least I can see you, shake some hands, give you a hug, see how you're doing, and tell you how much I am grateful I am to have you as in my life as my friends and stuff. And it was really fun. I came on a Thursday and I ran into a bunch of you, and it was really, really special. Also, a couple of you sent me some great cards, and I just wanted to show them off. So let me shed a little bit more. This lighting system that I have is not necessarily, oh, that's better. this reflection's not great, but I'm doing my best, guys. I'm doing my best. I'll tell you. This is from my two friends, Albert and Shirley Schmidt. Sorry, Shirley. And I just love this so much. It's a card where they are travelers. And honestly, I live vicariously through them because I've had a situation where I haven't been able to travel so much, but that's changing. Travel's coming. And they just sent me this lovely picture of them together, smiling and at their home. And here they are. Can't quite tell some of these pictures, but I know they're having a good time. And they sent me this lovely Merry Christmas card. And then Nicolasa, who is the president of the Disney Anna Fan Club, she sent this really cute Mickey card and wrote some really nice things inside. So these cards just were great to get after, you feel their timing, their timing seems to be, let's not burn me out now. There we go. Woo. Their timing seems to be really good. Like when you're feeling a little bit heartachy because maybe you're missing your mom or your dad, or you come across something that makes you flash into that or whatever. They pop in just at the right time. You open up your mailbox and there they are. And this is a couple of examples of what I just really was grateful getting them. So thank you to everyone who has sent me Christmas cards. No, I'm not a Christmas card sender. I basically just get on a broadcast and say, hi, thank you for everything. That's kind of the way I work it. Yeah, especially this year. This year has been a lot of sitting on the porch looking at sunrises and talking to my parents and saying, I miss you, Many of you have reached out and told me, this comes and goes. So it's been great to share hugs and hear about your parents and hear about how you communicate with them once they've gone. And I'm grateful, seriously, very, 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 very grateful. So yeah, so thanks a lot. I just wanted to point that out and say thank you. If you decide to post and share your candlelight pictures, please tag me on them, as I'd love to see them. I did not go to candlelight, but I got to see some lovely pictures, so I felt I was there. My friend Leslie Smith, she works at Disney, and she always is in the choir, and she posted a beautiful picture of her in the choir, and it was great to see her, because that was one of the reasons I like to go, was to see my Disney friends there and to see young people come and sing and so on and so forth, hear the songs and stuff. But it's hard to get into now. This year especially, it became very, very difficult to get into candlelight. Many said that they missed out, and some said that they were even going to, they've got the top Disney annual pass, and they were even considering paying more money to get in, because the pass has the Disney pass doesn't say it has blockout dates, but they limit how many pass holders can get in. They have that ability now to limit if you can get in, because you have to make a reservation. So those reservations are kind of trickle available, or you've got to hit right when candlelight is announced, or your pass is blocked out. And they don't say it's blocked out, but it's blocked out. And so if you can't get in, and this is something that's very special to you, like my friend from Las Vegas, she said, I may just have to buy a ticket, which is heartbreaking, because that pass can be pretty pricey. I mean, to many of you, you go, it's always going up. It's always going up. And speaking of this pass, if you can utilize that pass to the best of its ability, it is still the best bargain in town. I know it's a lot. But when you think about, if you really have Disney as your go-to place, so you live nearby, let's say you sort of fall out of bed into Disney. Hopefully you get out of your pajamas first. But let's say you have that ability, you're that close. You can do wonderful things when you have the pet. You can go for breakfast, you can go for dinner, you can go just to get a Dole Whip and then disappear. Maybe you're in the area and you say, let me look. And oh, look, there's room for me at Disneyland or at the California Adventure Park. I'll pop in and get a Dole Whip, see the tiki, and go home. See, this is what really where the pass really works is for people who are in the vicinity of Disneyland. Now, I'm not too far away. And I have found that this works out really well for me too because I'm coming to see you. Now, if it's a busy time, so I have a couple of really good friends coming from London and they're coming between Christmas and New Year's and that pass is blocked out for that time. Now, let me just point out to you that I don't mind because I don't want to be in Disneyland. Lately, Disneyland has been so crowded. To me, that's a little bit scary for me. Just too much tightness. I have to tell you that I'm not real great with super crowds, and that's a super crowd. You know, when you think that you could just take, if you were a giant and you looked down on Main Street and you saw how tight everyone was packed together, and you knew if you grabbed one end and you grabbed the other, you could just pick all the people up and put them in another location. That's crowded. That's candlelight. So I said, it's okay. But what's great about candlelight is it brings you all together to see candlelight, whether it's Walt Disney World, which I'm not at because that's East Coast. I live on the West Coast. But I can pop over to the West Coast, invite, gather with you at an Earl of Sandwich or gather with you at the Jazz Kitchen, even though I'm not a Jazz Kitchen person anymore. I can't do it. It's too loud. It's just too hard on me. My whole body feels like it's been shell shocked. I have no right to claim PTSD because I've had none in my life. But I feel like this must be a little bit about what they go through because there's loud noises that go off and clanking, and you're just assaulted with these really, because the Jazz Kitchen has been remodeled to be more of a cafeteria-like setting. It's metal chairs and tables without tablecloths, and it's windows without curtains. At least they put curtains in their main queen room this time. But we couldn't hear, and you can't have conversation. And when you gather with people, that's what you'd like to do, is be able to get close, get together with these people who are all in for candlelight and have a conversation with them. That's what I like more than anything. That's what I want more than anything for Christmas, is to just get together with people and speak to them. So my friend is coming in between Christmas and New Year's, and we're trying to set up a time to see each other because Disneyland is not an option for me. I'm not going in. My pass isn't it's a blockout date, and that's fine. But downtown Disney is really festive, really fun, and I love the Grand Californian. The Grand Californian right now is so fabulous, and it's not exclusive to people who stay there. So you can go visit Santa Claus, and Santa Claus has got the most beautiful classic look. Yes, you're going to have to stand in line to get that delicious gingerbread cookie that no one they sell them there at the Grand, and the line is long. So, you got to do a little thinking and working, but the gingerbread cookie is killer. Also, Santa is in that classic, long coat that Santa wears. It's not the Coca-Cola Santa. It's more of a classic Santa. And it's great because I was there on Thursday and I met with several of my friends. About 10 of you came and visited me at the Hearth because I love that little restaurant and bar that's indoors with the fireplace and just a very, I want to think it's kind of like a bourbon, whiskey, cinnamon and coffee, Bailey's and coffee kind of a place. It's got the beautiful paintings. It's got warmth. It's got great food. If you've never had their Parmesan encrusted grilled cheese sandwich, it's to die for. It's just so good. And so everybody, it's a nice comfy area, and you make a reservation and you cuddle in, and it feels very holiday. And I just loved it. I did that on the 5th with everybody. With quite a few people. I met a lot of people because you were all in for candlelight, and that's the big bonus for me. I love candlelight, but y'all are in there. Hard to get tickets, and I certainly wouldn't take a ticket from you. So what's great is that I get to see you outside of there. And that's what I did on Thursday. And it was just delightful. So this is the thing I'm saying. If you're near the area, you can pop in at various times and use that pass to your advantage. It doesn't have to be like most people where you're trying to plan your vacation. If you live in Nevada, you live in Arizona, or you live, back east and you're trying to get to Disneyland, it's a lot harder, isn't it? Because you're trying to figure out how many days you have, where you're going to stay, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not so easy. And so I don't get to see you as much as I get to see the people who are in the area. So the point is, the pass is really a fantastic bargain if you go to Disneyland a lot, because I think it only takes, so let's just, this is the thing that's kind of sad about the whole thing, is I think it only takes about 6 or 7 visits before that pass pays for itself. I mean, 6 or 7 visits. And if you live nearby, in a given time, I may be down in the area easily a dozen times. So it's still very affordable when you think of it that way, when you break it down that way. And then the more you go, the more affordable it is. And I find that the way I like it is just someone says, I'm going to be in the park. Can you come and see me? And I'll say, well, I actually am going to be in the area. Why don't I pop over and see you for dinner? Or why don't I pop over and we'll have something to drink, or we'll, sit at Coke Corner and visit or whatever. But it's those quick little ones that can work really well. So the passes are still a very, very reasonable thing if you're not halfway across the country, and you have to plan. Sometimes that pass becomes very expensive because you're only coming once or twice a year and you could buy a ticket. So that's just kind of my thoughts on that as we come into the holiday season. And I have decided that my favorite thing is to gather with people, and they're just warning me Santa Ana winds are coming. Oh, goody. Merry Christmas. Well, it turns out that California is in an interesting spot. LA is. I live in the LA area. LA is in an interesting spot. We've got a cold front coming down from the north, and we have a warm front coming up from the south, and we are the food in the middle of that sandwich. So you've got the cool weather on the top and the warm weather, and that creates all this stuff in the middle. And we are the swirly. So we're getting Santa Ana winds. We're getting really cold nights. It's an e-ticket adventure when it comes to the weather here right now. But I just wanted to pop in and tell you guys how much I love you guys. And on Friday, I'm going to do, I'll talk a little bit about what Christmas gifts might help you in a pinch. My challenge is that my parents and I and family didn't have a lot of money to spend. And one of the things that would really make me crazy was that my mom and dad would go into debt buying gifts for the family. And it used to just really bother me. It really, really bothered me. So I convinced them to buy Hope, and we paid for lottery tickets. And on Friday, I'll talk to you a little bit about what I do, how I do it, and what tickets are good. Now, you cannot give these lotto tickets to children. Okay, that is illegal. The person must be over, I think, over 18 to get a ticket. But you can give it to the families of the kids. So you can say, hey, here's an envelope, 2 or 3 lotto tickets in there for you. And then you as a family can scratch them because it's all in the family, right? It's a great way to do it. You have the potential of winning big. And my family every year would manage to win big. What I usually do is study which ones have the prizes still available. And I'll talk to you all about that in case this sounds like something you'd like to do. What really makes it special is if someone is on a fixed income, or their income or money is tight, which I think for a lot of us, this is exactly the case. I mean, I know it's for me. Yeah, I like to kind of know what's going to happen. So what we do is we all commit $30 every year. My family did. So they knew that they could put $2 $2 a month away and have the money, or they would put, a few, whatever. You divide $30 into, the entire year. It's a lot less painful. And then you take that $30, you buy 6 $5 tickets, and that's how it works. But I usually help you and say, these are the ones to buy because they have the most prizes, blah, blah, blah. So I will do that for you on Friday. We'll talk about that. And then we'll make our way to Christmas. Christmas coming fast, isn't it? And the challenge I'm having is that my husband's family still gives gifts, even though my husband continues to say, how about we give each other a card and get together and have a meal? Because just as I've just stated, That's what I like best, is seeing you guys face to face, hearing about you, or seeing what you have to say, or getting a card like this with your updates and stuff. Everything's super, super cool. So, so I don't know what to get them, but luckily a couple of people helped us with Lindsay's mom. We wanted to get her something very special. She's an amazing woman and she's 94, and we just wanted to get something super special. So we did. We managed because we had help from friends, and that really is what I like, is just gathering of friends and saying, "Help me." So let me see if I can help you. Okay. Also, Hanukkah's on the same day as Christmas, which for some reason I am tickled pink about this. I don't know why. Just the idea of everybody celebrating on the same day. So Hanukkah starts on the 25th of December, and we of course have our December 25th. And it's just wonderful. Post in the comments how you celebrate Christmas. It's been a little different for me as my parents have gone. And one of the things that my husband and I came up with that I absolutely love is we did a Christmas Carol playlist. So everything from, we haven't grabbed the Muppet uh, Christmas Carol yet. That's en route. But we have all kinds of Christmas carols done by various filmmakers. So you've got all of the ones that are classic from, say, 19, I think our earliest is 1930 something. And then it goes all the way up to the um, George C. Scott as Scrooge, and Albert Finney as, is it Albert Finney as Scrooge? And we just watch them so we can see how each person portrays the different characters, from Scrooge to Marley to the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Yet to Come, and see how they do it. We even have the Mr. Magoo version. And I saw the Chuck Jones Duck version they did in the 2000s, kind of as an homage. So it's really fun to just kind of curl up with some popcorn and something warm to drink and watch that. So it's just kind of these things that are happening. Um, eh, all of a sudden, I want a tree. I haven't had a tree in my house in a while. So I said to my husband, I'd like to have a Christmas tree just to have that smell in there. And I think it's because my parents are like, it's about time you had a tree, kid. You didn't have a tree before. But I usually would go to where my parents were more than my parents coming to our home, just because of their situations. So now that they have gone up to heaven, um, it's like uh, it's different. So I'm feeling those kind of things like that. So if you're just joining me and you're wondering, what the heck is this channel? This is kind of what it is. It's me just kind of introspecting, is that the right word? Understanding, kind of analyzing what I'm going through right now and what maybe you are going through. And I'd love for you to share it. You don't have to share it in a post if you don't want to, but understand that I feel you. This time of year can be very different from any other time of year because you want to gather with friends and family. And if you're one of those people that doesn't feel like you have a friend or a family, this is the opportunity to just kind of have us, I'll chat with you here and talk to you here. But I'm going to give you more upbeat things. Today I had a little trouble with technology. Being 67 years old, that's my whole story. And I'll run into people who want to connect via Facebook or Messenger, and I'll reach out to them. But then they want me to say hello right back or something. Guys, understand, I don't spend a lot of time on these social media platforms. I come in a couple times a week to say hi, and then I, because it's a bit of work for me. I'd much rather face to face, not camera to, you know what I mean? This is a alien world for me. And although I like it and I enjoy it, it's different. And right now, I want to come out and say to you, I love having you and I love that you joined me and I appreciate it very much. But seeing you face to face is my favorite. That's my favorite thing, is to just getting to know you, just say hi and how you doing and hear what you're up to. The other day I talked to some people. Matt McKim had a special thing for his dad, and Sam McKim, and I met this group of people who do Dungeons and Dragons, and we went off in this whole Dungeons and Dragons talk, because when I got involved in Dungeons and Dragons in high school, they were pamphlets, little books about this big, and now they're big volumes with beautiful art and huge things that people do. So it's wonderful. There's figures that people use and stuff that weren't available when I was in high school. So feel free to share with me anything that's special to you. And on Friday, I will talk to you about a couple of those things that I mentioned. Okay, but for now, happy holidays. Happy holidays. I'm so thankful for you. And I want you guys to have a great day and enjoy yourself. And I will see you on, I will see you next time. I will see. See, I'm still trying to work this out. I will see you next time, is what I should be saying. For our next adventure on Terry TV, we will catch you next time. All right, guys, everybody do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. If I'm a little disjointed, it's just because I'm a little disjointed. But believe me, my heart goes out to you and I care about you. Have a happy holiday and we'll see you next time. That's what I should be saying. See you next time. Bye for now.